Hello dear students, welcome back with another video. This is Jojo Tomy ACCA. Today we will be discussing how to earn professional marks in SBL. For a paper like Strategic Business Leader, it is very important to score professional marks. You might be knowing that out of the 100 marks which is being asked in the exam, 80 marks is for technical knowledge and 20 marks is for professional marks. 80 marks of the technical knowledge can definitely be scored once you understood the concepts very well. But even if you are not that thorough with the concept, still you can earn 20 marks once you are aware of the professional skill marks. So let's try to understand what professional skills are. Basically, there are 5 professional skills which is being tested in ACCA exams, which are analysis, communication, commercial acumen, evaluation, and skepticism. So once you get an idea about the skills, you can definitely score good marks among the professional skill marks. So before going in depth, let's try to understand what the skills are. Okay, so moving into an example, let's say you are a good baker. You are trying to start a business, you are trying to sell cakes. Just because you are a good baker or just because you know how to sell cakes, that doesn't make you a good businessman. You will definitely be doing some kind of analysis about the industry, about the market, whether this product is positive in this market, whether the market respond positive, what are the competitors among this industry. All these things will definitely be considered. This can be considered as analysis. This is the analysis skill. Okay, I hope you get an overall idea about what analysis is. So once you're done with analysis, okay, you find out that market is positive and you started the business. Let's say you started the business. And now for this business, you might be requiring different raw materials and you are having different suppliers outside. So the next thing that you will be doing is you will be evaluating different supplies in the market. There are many advantages and disadvantages associated with each of the supplier. But definitely you will be looking at the pros and cons of each supplier and finally you will be choosing one supplier. This is the evaluation part. This is how evaluation is being tested in the exam. So I hope you get an idea on evaluation as well. Analysis done, evaluation done. And next, let's learn about professional skepticism. Say, for example, for some kind of advertisement push or say, for example, some kind of marketing, you might be requiring some additional funds or maybe to purchase some machineries or whatever it is. You might be requiring some funds. You are almost drained out with your own funds. So you will be using debt finance, right? Say, for example, you might be approaching different banks or financial institutions asking for funds. Suddenly someone approaches to you and they're telling to you that I will give you funds and you can only pay, we have to pay back the interest, right? We have to pay back interest. So the interest rate is just 2% or 3%. So at that time, you should hear these words with the minimum amount of professional skepticism. You know, the market interest rate is almost around 8% to 10%, say for example. And if someone is offering you funds for a credit rate, for an interest rate of 3% or 2%, there might be some kind of fraud involved. Okay, you should be skeptical on hearing this. Okay, this questioning attitude, this questioning mind is known as professional skepticism. I hope you are clear with professional skepticism as well. Okay, all these will definitely be tested in SBL exams. So by this slide, you will get to know what these professional skills are. Moving ahead, the next skill is commercial acumen. Commercial acumen, as you can see in this particular slide, you are selling cakes with the different prices. You are selling multiple cakes and these cakes are the pricing of these cakes is obviously different, right? Because the costing is different, the profit margins are different. Okay, so you will be setting a price on the basis of your sustainability. You might be calculating your break even point, how much cake should I sell, or at what price you should sell. All these details will be done, and finally you will be priced at a commercially sustainable price. This is commercial acumen, to make commercially sound decisions, to take commercially sound decision. This comes under commercial acumen. Okay, and moving ahead, communication. Finally you are set up the business successfully, you got the enough funds, you got the supplier, you got the right supplier, you started selling cakes. So once a customer is entered in your shop, you should inform the customer about the different types of cakes available, with the different types of varieties available, and you should persuade them to buy. This is communication, the communication between you and your customer. This comes under communication. So by the example of this cake shop, I hope you are now aware what these professional skills are. Now let's go into detail, knowing how can we apply these skills in the perspective of SBL candidate. Okay, as an SBL candidate, how should you imply these particular skills? Okay, so starting with analysis. Obviously in the question it will be shown there might be many financial and non-financial information will be available within the scenario. This could be from the present available, or this could be from the different exhibits which is presented on the exam day. From any of these areas, obviously there will be many financial and non-financial information available to you. You guys have to try to find a reason for these numbers. That is analysis. When you consider the professional skill analysis, you have to consider these 3 points. You have to investigate, inquire, consider. Okay, you have to thoroughly investigate what information are available. As a finance manager, or as a CEO, as a board of director, as a chairman, whatever be your role, you have to identify or investigate what information is available. Okay, and then like what information is available. Okay, let me try to find the reason behind this. And the third one is, consider. After analyzing this information, after finding behind all these numbers, try to consider proposing actions. Like this could help us, okay, on the basis of your analysis done. This is all about analysis. This is how you should apply the analysis skill in the exam. So in short, analysis skill is very simple. You will be presented with financial or non-financial information within the scenario. You have to identify what are the information available, and you should try to find the reason behind these numbers. You should try to link the financial information to non-financial information, and to finally consider proposing actions based on your analysis. This is all about analysis. Okay, obviously there will be multiple videos coming in our YouTube channel. You can definitely go through other SBL related videos, so that you will get to know how this analysis will really tested in exams. Okay, with an exam question we will definitely be discussing that. Anyway, I hope you are now have an idea on what analysis is. Now let's move into evaluation. Evaluation is another simple professional skill which obviously all of you hearing this can definitely achieve the marks in SBL. Considering the evaluation skill, all you need to understand is these 3 areas, which is assess, estimate, and appraise. Assess, estimate, and appraise. What should we do? We should assess proposals or arguments in a balanced way. We might need to estimate the trends or forecasts whether this company is going to this particular situation, and you might need to appraise the facts and figures given as well. In short, evaluation, you can read this scenario at the same time. Okay, in short, evaluation is this simple. Evaluation means there will be different options available for us. Say for example, there might be different customer contracts available, or we might be having several suppliers and we are in a position to choose which supplier is good for us. So, as I said earlier, we have to evaluate pros and cons of each supplier and finally make a balanced statement like this supplier seems to be a good option for us. But at the same time, however, considering this is also good. This supplier is also good. Likewise. Okay, you got an idea about evaluation. Is that what we are talking about? Okay, if you want to choose some kind of supplier or if there are multiple options might be associated in the scenario, okay, you should consider each option and consider the advantage and disadvantage, the pros and cons associated with each option, and try to state out a balanced statement in the conclusion. Sometimes instead of conclusion, you will be asking for a recommendation as well. If recommendation is being asked, definitely you have to give this supplier is better. Okay. If conclusion is being asked, this supplier is good, but considering this supplier seems to be good. Out of this, for our company, it is better to adopt this particular supplier. Likewise, you have to make your conclusion. This is all about evaluation. As you can see in this picture, you need to make a balanced statement. That's it. Okay. Moving ahead now into the commercial acumen. It is actually very simple. Assume you are the CEO of a company. You will obviously be taking decisions based on the sustainability of the company, which will positively facilitate the profitability of the company. You won't be taking decisions which may lead to going concern issue for the company, right? So this is all about commercial acumen. Take decisions which are commercially sound. Give judgments which are commercially sound. That's it. Okay. So you have to show the business awareness. There might be many internal factors and external factors affecting the company. You have to analyze the external environment and the internal situation of the company very well. And then you have to make your own judgments based on the insights. That is all about commercial acumen. Understanding the overall business factors, both internal and external. And now you should give commercially sound comments and recommendation. Let's put this price for our cake, because if this price is being adopted, we can achieve break even by selling this much n number of cakes. We can get a profit of this much amount. Likewise, commercially sound decisions you have to take. Okay, this is all about commercial acumen. In the real exams, you can use these terms. These terms should you consider about the competitors, about the opportunities we have, about the type of customers and the perspective about the company. What is the market share company is currently having? How can company increase the market share? What are the existing potential risks? Political, technological, there are many risks that we learned, right? And the pestle environment as well. So consider all these factors while talking about commercial acumen. So this is basically about commercial acumen. I hope now you have definitely a clear idea what commercial acumen is. Moving ahead comes to skepticism. Skepticism is another easy professional skills. The one thing that you have to, not one thing, sorry, three things that you have to consider in mind is probe, question, challenge. Okay. Probe means hear things with a questioning mind, like whether it is right, is it true, is it false, what is it ethical. You should hear things that with a questioning attitude. That is probe. Question means once you hear this, you may have to question them, like, is that correct, is it sensible to adopt. Likewise, okay, sometimes we have to challenge the opinions already made by the board of finance director or any other board of directors or the CEO as well. Okay, so this is all about professional skepticism. We may have to ask questions or we may have to challenge someone's views or opinions already made. Okay, we might need to ask for more. Can you present out more evidences as well regarding your statement? Okay, so ask for evidences or more for a clear picture. Adopt a questioning tone. Okay, sometimes I think that might not be the right action to be taken in this particular situation. Okay, it's not clear. Can you elaborate further? This all comes under professional skepticism. I disagree. It's incorrect. Okay. So at the same time, you should challenge in a professional way. You should challenge in a professional way. Sometimes professional skepticism, if professional skepticism is being asked in the exam, students do usually sometimes some candidates have used very abusive words for questioning. That is not the common sense thing. Should not be used. Okay. And now, don't assume everything as wrong. Don't assume everything you hear from the statements made by board of director or finance director or CEO. Don't consider whatever they say it is wrong. No, that's not the right thinking. Okay, so please don't assume everything as wrong. Okay, so this is all about professional skepticism. Okay, if consider this option, I don't think this option is feasible for our company. This may not be the suitable option, or this may not be an acceptable option by our shareholders. I have just discussed SFA approach: suitability, feasibility, acceptability. Likewise, coming to the last professional skill, which is the very easiest skill, which is communication. Communication, as we already discussed, we may have to inform the customers about the case. We may persuade them to buy. We may have to clarify their concerns, if any. All these should be done using proper wordings. So to score communication marks, it is actually very easy. One important thing that you have to keep in your mind is use proper formats. There are different formats associated with, which will definitely be releasing as a YouTube video soon. Okay, there are reports, there are memos, there are briefing papers, press release, slides. There are different formats for each of these formats. Different types are the presentation. So understand how I should present these. Okay, so for example, if a report is being asked, you have to do the from, to, date, subject, introduction, then body, then conclusion, right? So all this format should properly be followed if you are trying to score marks for communication skill. This is actually a very easy thing to do, right? And another thing is that use proper wordings. You may be talking to your senior or you may be addressing your junior. If you're talking to your senior, show that respect in your words, as well as if your role is to talk to a junior, consider using advice, a tone of advising. At the same time, consider a tone of appreciation. Okay, so we will do this in questions, so you will get to know more idea about all this. Okay, so be sensitive to their needs. If your senior is asking something or whether your junior is asking something, whatever be sensitive to their needs. So use proper wordings, use proper reports, and explain things in an appropriate tone. That's it. So this is all about communication. So guys, I hope now you are having at least some kind of idea on what these professional skills are, or how can we achieve marks from applying these professional skills. There are 20 marks. It's actually a big deal as well. So good luck, guys. Go score the 20 professional marks. Good luck for the exams again. Thank you. We'll see you in another video. Thank you.